We are here at the Joe Weider Memorial with the one, the only, and my fellow Pittsburgher, Jim Manion. Mr. Manion, it is very good to see you today on this joyous occasion. I think we're all here to remember Joe. When did you meet him? How old were you?
Well, it was in the 70s, like the late 70s, so at that time is 40 years ago?
Were you still competing?
Well, no, I actually wasn't competing. I just started to get into the officiating, and we were thinking about forming the NPC. And I met with Joe, and he told me he would give me all his support behind the magazines, which he did until the end. He was always there for me, covering contests, doing articles on the NPC guys and IFBB guys. So Joe, too, was always support behind me and was always there for me. Learned a lot from him.
Did he give you any advice?
His advice was always just to keep moving forward with new ideas. And a lot of my advice I actually got from Joe, and some of my favorite and fondest times was out the back of his house. He'd call me over, we'd go over on the weekend, I'd have lunch or breakfast with him. We'd sit there and we'd talk anything from politics to bodybuilding, everything in between, just life. And I learned so many things because it was such a relaxed atmosphere. And I got to spend that time when uninterrupted with phone calls and people pestering him. And so we just discussed so many things, just in life in general. I learned a lot from being around him.
Was he free with the business advice?
Oh, always, any kind of advice. Joe would tell you from business advice to how to keep your marriage happy. So
I see.
He was wonderful. I mean, I love the guy, and as we all do. And without him, you and I wouldn't be standing here doing this.
That is exactly correct. What's your favorite Joe story that you can tell on camera?
Well, I have so many of them, but I think I told John this one. One day I was back at his house visiting with him, and he asked how Debbie was doing. I said, well, Debbie dropped me off, and he said, well, have her come in when she comes to pick you up. So he comes in, how you doing, Debbie? Good. How's Jim treating you? Debbie says, he's great, Joe, but you can't change a light bulb around the house. So Joe says, look, you didn't marry him to change a light bulb, did you? He's a good earner. Now, that's a back east old-time thing, being a good earner. Debbie says, that he is, Joe. Well, that's all you got to worry about, he says. So, but there was many with Joe, from contest times to whenever. So many.
You going to speak today?
I'm scheduled to speak. I don't know if I'm going to make it because I may have to leave for my flight, but because they started a little later than I thought they were going to.
I see. Well, I'll look forward to it and see you later.
All right.
Thank you very much, Mr. Manion, Jim Manion, the Joe Weider Memorial.